Did you know finding critical information about an LLC in Minnesota doesn't have to cost you a single dime? Let's dive right into this explainer and completely unlock the absolute best, entirely free way to investigate any business in the state of Minnesota. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a freelancer, or honestly just a curious consumer, knowing how to find this information yourself is an absolute game changer.
Stick around, because we're going to walk through the complete step-by-step process that will empower you with some seriously valuable, totally free tools in just a few minutes. We're completely debunking the myth that business data is locked behind expensive paywalls or that you somehow need to hire a lawyer to get it. You can actually do all this yourself, right from your computer.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We're looking at the basics of an LLC lookup, your step-by-step search guide, how to decode the results, some pro tips and free resources, red flags and common mistakes, and then a quick conclusion.
All right, Section 1, the basics of LLC lookup.
Okay, so the ultimate source of truth here is the Minnesota Business Filings Online Portal. This is the official, free, public database maintained by the Minnesota Secretary of State. It tracks every single registered business entity, LLCs, corporations, nonprofits, the whole shebang. And honestly, the best part? No login required, and they charge absolutely nothing for a basic search.
So, why should you even care about this? Well, whether you're an entrepreneur praying your dream business name isn't already taken, or a consumer just trying to make sure a contractor isn't running some sort of scam, these are the critical reasons you need this tool. You can verify a company's legitimacy, do real due diligence before signing any partnership, or track down the registered agent, the person legally responsible for receiving important documents, if you ever need to send formal correspondence.
Moving right along to Section 2, your step-by-step search guide.
You can actually run this entire search in under 3 minutes just by following these exact clicks. First, head over to the official portal at mblsportal.sos.mn.gov. Right in the center of the page, you're going to see the search tool. Step 2, just enter your criteria. Usually that's just the business name or their unique file number. And finally, Step 3, hit search and click details on the matching row to open up the full public record. It literally is that fast. Now, understanding your search scope can be a bit of a hurdle, so let's look at a practical example. Say you're looking for a company named North Star Consulting. If you select Begins With and they're actually officially registered as the North Star Consulting Group LLC, they won't even show up. Choosing Contains is the real pro move here because it allows the system to find those terms anywhere in the name. It's an absolute lifesaver for avoiding typos or slight spelling variations.
Once you click into the details of a company, it's like a gold mine. You are rewarded with this incredible wealth of information. You'll instantly see their unique file number, the exact date they were officially formed, when their next renewal is due, and their current entity status. Plus, you get the physical address of their registered office and agent. It paints this complete, historical picture of the entity right before your eyes.
All right, on to Section 3, decoding the search results.
When you pull up a record, the status line is without a doubt the most important thing to look at. If it says active or in good standing, that means they've filed all their required renewals on time and you're generally totally safe to proceed. But notice how an inactive status doesn't necessarily mean the company is dead and gone forever. Often, it just means they missed a renewal deadline. If you see that, you definitely need to dig a little deeper before signing any deals. Now, administratively terminated means the state forced them closed for noncompliance. And voluntarily dissolved? Well, that means the owners formally shut it down themselves, which, hey, means that business name might just be available for you to grab.
Next up, Section 4, Pro Tips and Free Resources.
A super frequent question we get is, how do I search to see what companies a specific person owns? Well, as the state guidelines clarify, an officer and agent name search simply isn't supported on this portal. You actually must search by the business name or file number first. Once you open that specific business record, only then can you read who the registered agent or manager is.
To really get a 360-degree view for your long-term business planning, you definitely shouldn't stop at the Secretary of State. You can cross-reference what you find with these other entirely free government departments. The Minnesota Department of Revenue is fantastic for understanding state tax enforcement. Local county clerk offices hold real estate deeds and vital public records. And the Minnesota Department of Commerce? Absolutely essential. They license over 270,000 professionals and businesses, from real estate to insurance, so if the LLC you're looking up requires any kind of professional license, the Department of Commerce is for sure your next stop. Okay, Section 5, Red Flags and Common Mistakes.
Listen, if you're about to sign a contract, these red flags are your cue to slam on the brakes. We already talked about inactive or suspended statuses,
But also be on the lookout for missing physical addresses or wildly inconsistent registered agent details. Oh, and here is a massive red flag, especially for new business owners: deceptive solicitations. Often, literally right after you register a new LLC, scammers will mail you these super official-looking letters demanding unnecessary compliance fees. Always verify these against the actual Secretary of State portal to protect your hard-earned money.
Another massive beginner mistake? Ignoring the filing history tab. Remember, data requires context, always. Skipping the filing history is a really frequent error that can lead you to completely misinterpreting a company's true current standing. By checking the annual submit dates in the record, you get this incredibly clear timeline of exactly how reliably the business operates and maintains its legal compliance.
And finally, Section 6, Conclusion.
The absolute biggest takeaway here is to empower yourself. Accessing Minnesota business records is fast, it's totally accessible to the public, and it is 100% free. You just do not need a middleman for this. You now hold the magic key to verifying any Minnesota LLC at zero cost. So please like, share, and subscribe if you found this walkthrough valuable. It really helps us keep bringing you these deep dive explainers.
And of course, as always, we've got to include our quick disclaimer. While this public data from the Secretary of State is incredibly powerful and generally super accurate, you've got to make sure you verify it for formal legal purposes. If you're entering into a massive contract or dealing with complex corporate structures, you absolutely should consult a professional attorney or CPA for comprehensive legal advice.
So armed with this awesome free tool, whose business history are you going to look up first today? Maybe it's a potential business partner, a sketchy contractor you're thinking of hiring, or maybe you're just going to make sure your dream business name is still sitting there waiting for you. Get out there, start searching, and I will see you in the next explainer.